Thank you for having me.
Tomorrow you set date for the tribunal judgment. Police warn against any form of protests in case there's a judgment that does not favor one party. What's your take?
I think that warning cut across all parties. I mean, everybody's concerned, both the parties, both the obedient and the articulates, everybody's concerned. And I want to repeat, we need to be able to concede defeat in this country. Mary Odilis mentioned that word over the weekend when she said, losers of election must grow the maturity of absorbing the loss. We should not for any reason burn down this country. I mean, when we burn down this country, so where do we have to live? All right, because in every election there will be losers and there will be winners. All right, everybody has made their statement clear. Nobody should try to intimidate, or nobody should indulge in what we call, subjudice or prejudice, whatever. Let us all believe in our judiciary. We understand our judicial system. I mean, our election system is not yet perfect. Take for instance, I mean, common sense tells you and I that the president shouldn't have been sworn in. But in accordance with the Electoral Act of 2022, by the way, that Electoral Act brought beavers, all right? But it came along with it some lacuna. And that lacuna is when there are adjudications, when there are arguments, the president should be sworn in. I mean, that is a space or a vacuum that must be treated as a matter of urgency.
Do you foresee any form of protest?
Yes, I think I do. And also, I think the judiciary are doing everything possible to play safe. Yes, let me tell you one of the things they said. These proceedings will be broadcasted live. However, yes, tomorrow's judgment will be broadcasted live, but they stated it categorically that their faces should not be shown. You can see that the judiciaries have heard that some people are somewhere who are ready to mock them if they don't rule in favor of their candidates. All right?
Is that okay if they don't rule in favor
of their candidates? And their candidate could be the current governor or it could be the opposition. Either ways, those who actually participated in these last elections, who majority are youth, these are youths that are of high temperament. These are youths that are now very knowledgeable because of access to information through the internet. Everybody have seen what is attainable and obtainable in the Western world. So everybody is not expecting nothing less, nothing more. So it's going to be a tug of war. And the judiciary don't want to be caught up in that, that smog and slug of fight.
I think we should talk to our youths because this is something of concern.
It's unfortunate that majority of the youths whom were born 2003, 2004, majority of them who have now come of age, happens to be the majority of the electorate, and probably most of them this is their first election. Okay, so I mean they have been brainwashed and they have been told what it is obtainable online is obtainable offline. It simply means if my candidate can win the polls online, on Twitter polls, on Facebook polls, definitely there's no reason that can justify him to lose on field. And meanwhile, in Africa, even in America, online polls, we could recall when Trump won, the online polls favored Hillary Clinton. However, Trump came out victorious. All right, so we copy this democracy system from America, and we must understand that we have to do everything possible to grow the maturity of absorbing defeat.
From your own judgment, who you think won the election?
Well, to me, the person who won the election is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I mean, it is clear, beyond reasonable doubt, all logical reasonings, putting aside emotions. Obi and Atiku, if they had worked together, they would have defeated Asiwaju flawlessly. I understand people are out there, using the alibi, rigging. I mean, there is no single soul that participated in that election who did not rig in a strong area. Everybody did. either directly or indirectly. All right. So to me, if Atiku and Obi had worked together, they would have defeated this sitting president today, who is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Heaven will not fall if any of them is declared president.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. But we must know that tomorrow's judgment is not final. The final will happen, I think, in the next 2-3 months, which is the supreme judgment. All right. And yes, we must not for any reason try and extend our intimidation tendencies to the Supreme Court. Because I can tell you the Supreme Court can decide to just rule out any petition that comes to him if he's intimidated and just say that the sitting government remains. Because the Supreme Court stands as an institution of policy making, and that cannot be taken away from them.
What you're saying that there's a chance this might get to the Supreme Court?
Absolutely. And when it does, I pray and I plead with our youth not to extend the ugly attitude of intimidation. All right, because I mean, these guys at the tribunal have been intimidated. Over, I think some weeks ago, the daughter of the leading judge, Ashop, was actually, was displayed, the address and all that was, broadcasted on WhatsApp and Twitter that if the man rules against Peter Obi, they should go and burn it down. Why are we doing that? That is treason. I think that is a criminal act. Why should you go online and start threatening the child of the lead judge that if they burn your papa well, if you don't favor Peter Obi, your child is gone? Come on, that is the height of it. That is not you having the team spirit. What are we trying to destroy this country? I mean, we need to stop that.
Last week, NLC have begun their strike. They refused meeting with the federal government yesterday.
Does it appear to you like the strike in Nigeria? If anything is not effective in Lagos State, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Kano State, my brother, it's a failure. It's dead on arrival. I would have mentioned Edo State, but Edo has appeared not to be the headquarters of Labour Party because PDP swept them off their feet in the just concluded, local government chairman's election. All right, so to me, Joe Ajero is a confused lot who is an extension of the Labour Party. I have just recently declared my respect for Festus Yusufo. Yusufo attended yesterday's meeting and he categorically stated it that yes, as a body that holds the government responsible, we must do this holistically. The federal government has disbursed some billions of money to the state government, and it belongs on us to hold the state governors accountable. Festus Yusufo said that. He said all state government will be watched with an eagle eye. If you try to misbehave, they will deploy all their arsenals and attack such irresponsible government, just like the one we have in Bayelsa, just like the one we have in Edo State. Now, we must understand that these are the jobs of such institutions, because when we are crying for true federalisms, then we must understand that we have to rechannel our energy to the state government. Just yesterday or so, the state government got 70% of over 3.7 trillion that was shared, which is money generated from what? Tax. Now, over 70% was shared to state government. Joe Ajero is not concerned about that. That man happens to act like an opposition, and I think he is a cousin to one infamous candidate.
Tomorrow is stipulated for the judgment between the APC and Labour Party. What are your expectations, Mr. Matthew?
My expectation is one, that tomorrow definitely judgment will come up. I understand that in Nigeria,
that's a lone expectation. What are you expecting? We know that judgment is coming up tomorrow.
I'm expecting that a winner will emerge. Because what we have currently is an election that is being challenged by two major contenders in that election. I'm talking about Peter Obi of Labour Party and Atiku Abubakar of PDP. The law does not permit us to prejudice the outcome of the case. But I'm aware that Atiku Abubakar is challenging the eligibility of even Mr. President based on his state Chicago University certificate. That is left for the court to determine whether the man presented a genuine certificate or not.
Who do you think have a better chance of becoming the president after tomorrow?
It's not my place to start.
Who do you think have the better chance? I'm not saying
you are asking me to prejudice. I cannot constitute myself into a court of law. It's not my place to constitute myself into a court of law. The Constitution frowns at it. But I'm aware that Obi is asking the court to determine whether the result of the election has been declared by INEC substantially complies with the Electoral Act, because it's a basis for one to elect victorious in the Nigerian election. But to start asking me to extrapolate who
what do you think?
What I think is that a winner will emerge tomorrow.
Okay, what are the reservations for 25% FCT Abuja?
My reservations are that one, Supreme Court is the final arbiter in Nigeria. Any judgment they give becomes law itself. They can use any argument to back up any direction, any trajectory they decide to follow. I'm aware that some people have argued that you must have 25% in Abuja before you are returned elected. I'm aware that some people have argued that the constitution, the writers of the constitution, the drafters of the constitution do not intend to make people who live in Abuja as special citizens, as super citizens, as festival citizens, to that extent that it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have 25% in Abuja before you will become a winner. So I think this is puzzle that the court need to resolve. It's not my place to start giving judgment.
Heaven will not fall if the judgment is given tomorrow. Heaven will not fall.
Definitely, in any case, heaven will not fall. That's it. But it's not my place to say if you go in this direction or in that direction.
The others have said they are for covered plans for protests.
No, one thing you should understand is that as Nigerians, we have right of peaceful protest. But in the midst of asserting your right, you are not permitted to go violent. I'm not envisaging any protest anyway.
But you're not envisaging any protest?
Yes.
Why?
It's within the right of the security agencies to forestall any disturbance, any public disturbance of public peace.
Okay, the NLC going on strike today. What do you look at? How do you look at all of these strikes from the NLC?
NSC is a two-club bulldog. We don't have NSC in Nigeria. NSC is dead.
They are going to shut the banks.
NSC is dead. NSC is not existing. The time we had NSC was under Oshomole. When Oshomole, when the NSC under Oshomole was constructively engaging the government under Olusegun Obasanjo. Currently, what we have is a dead NSC. NSC that is only existing in principle, not in practice. NSC that is only existing on the basis of newspaper, on the basis of the books, not in practice. As far as I'm concerned, they are dead. They cannot buy.
I hope the tribunal gives justice tomorrow.
That is why all eyes is on
we are hoping because
that is why all eyes is on the judiciary.
I think some Nigerians are very eager to know whether it's going to be that will be announced as president tomorrow.
In any case, it is not my place to say whether Obi Atiku or Tinubu will be announced. That's the reason the court is there. Let us allow the court.
Do you think there's corruption in the judiciary?
Even if I think there's corruption, it's not my place to start using it to determine the case.
But you trust the judiciary?
I don't have confidence in the judiciary.
Why?
Because I choose not to have confidence.
Mr. Massey, you choose not to have confidence in the judiciary. Well, that is a long question, long answer. I just need you to open a bit. If you don't have trust in the judiciary, there must be a reason why you don't have trust. Probably because you don't think they are going to give judgment as it were.
This is not the only case pending before the judiciary. This is not the first time the judiciary will be giving a verdict. And after the judiciary will probably give verdict. But I choose not to have confidence in the judiciary as a person.
Okay, thank you very much. It is really all right. God bless you.
Thank you.